Welcome everyone to another new episode of Downtime with Downtime. That's that Manzai group, so don't mind me. In any case, we've got a new episode coming, and this time around we are joined by Derek Vasconi on the top right, on the bottom left is Mariberi, and on the bottom right is Mette. Welcome everyone.
Thank you.
What's up?
So another week has passed, and yeah. So what is going on with everyone on a personal level this time? Mette, anything going on?
I've had a big test at school. I got it back and I passed. Yes.
Oh, nice. What kind of test though?
Hey,
Patch, patch,
good
patch.
job.
What was
So
the topic?
now I proved I can hiragana and katakana.
Oh, nice. So,
Nice,
yes.
nice.
How do you feel your Japanese level at the moment?
I can talk about my day pretty confidently.
Uh-huh.
I can talk about what I like and I dislike, but if someone wants to ask me where stuff is and ask me directions,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna get like asoko.
そうなんだ。これはめっちゃいいと思いますよね。That's okay. Yeah, it's more
Like,
like yeah, but
uh,
Japanese is the kind of language that you learn by practicing and talking
Yeah.
a lot. That's my own experience in any case. I remember
yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Good. Sorry.
No, I remember taking the JLPT test last year or 2 years ago. I'm not sure when it was, but I was learning from a book, but I had such a hard time back then, and then I started actually using the language by talking to Japanese expats here in the Netherlands. And I found that learning via talking is it goes quicker. So you understand, and the understanding is way quicker just talking and practicing than just learning from a book. So my recommendation is, yeah, what's
But
up?
this is like with basically every language. Like I really recommend like taking stories and then like trying to read them. Like because that always like helps a lot. Even if you like don't know some of the words, you can always look them up and all that. So like you're using it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's try to practice and try to read children's books as well. I don't know if you got something like Miffy in Japanese as well, so just try those for size. And usually there is a bit of kanji, but usually on top of it is the furigana as well, so you can understand the kanji as well. So it's a bit of a double advantage, I would say. So read a lot of children's books. So Marberry, what's going on your end?
Wait. I had something to
Oh,
say.
sorry, Derek. Sorry, go for it, Derek.
You're a bad host, man. What
Yeah, I
happened?
know.
You were all good last
I
week.
know,
You're
I
just
know, I know.
messing up our intro and cutting me off. God, no, I'm kidding. It's fine. I'm just playing with you. No, just kidding. あんちゃんは今日何してたの？
今
Ooh.
日は、日本語を勉強します。
Almost.
本当ですか？何を勉強してましたか？
漢字です。
おー、そうなんだ。
漢字
うん
大変だね。
Yes! はい、そうです。
あ、そうなんだ。難しさはどうですか？難しさは。
書いた
ああ、
書いた
そうなんだ。そうなんだ。いっぱいだね。何漢字を勉強しましたか
1、1、2、3、10と100、1000、N と、G。
ああ、
漢字
そうなんだ。いいな、いいな。it's
It's my first lesson, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay though. But everyone has to start somewhere. And the more you practice,
it's hard.
yeah, the more you practice, the more fluent you get in the end, to be quite honest. So.
Crazy girl ちゃん、元気ですか？
Yeah, I don't speak any Japanese.
Sorry, we had to do
No,
it.
but you speak like 10 other languages. It's all good, right?
Yeah.
But what's going on?
So here's
Well, today I'm a bit sick, so to all the viewers, if I sound or look a bit weird, it's because of that. But otherwise, everything's good. Like I've got my tea, so don't mind me drinking it.
That's
I love
okay.
tea. Yeah.
Tea is good.
It's the best thing ever. Like I could, like some days I literally drink like it's a big thermos,
Uh-huh.
And like I can drink like 4 fills of this, like per day.
Wow.
I love it.
They always said drink lots of fluids when you're sick, so at least you're doing that. So, Derek, what's going on?
Just so many things. But
Uh-oh.
I think yeah, I just had tonight we had a show with Mary Baden at Shinjuku Samurai, and there was a lot of people there because a lot of the fans, even some of the older school fans, are trying to get their checkies in with Honami before she graduates. Also, just making some plans for the checkies for the stuff we're going to be putting up on Idol Underworld for her graduation, including a brand new song and redos of some older songs, which are, you know, the new song is unbelievable. It's like you take a guy who writes for AKB48 and you put him in the Chico world, and you can occasionally get some greatness. You add in a
Wow.
little bit of metal, and I don't know, like Daisuke, like Mary Baden's producer, he is all that. Like he wrote like one of the best graduation songs I've ever heard, like ever, for an idol. Like there's a hook in that song that is undeniable, and like they're releasing it as a B-side to like an older song, and I just can't believe they're even releasing it as a B-side. I'm like, this is an A single. Like this is not a B-side. And yeah, it's unbelievable. So like been working on that. Also had the online checky session for foreign fans for Mary Baden, and that went really well. So many people tuned in, and so many people bought checky. Definitely a record for us. So
Wow.
that was really amazing. A couple hours of meeting fans was a lot of fun. It was the girls are they don't take drugs. I mean, drugs are illegal in Japan, but they might have been on at least 10 different substances that night because they were
Whoa.
so ganky, crazy, and just it was insane. It was unbelievable. So yeah, just lots of stuff, you know, usual. What about you, DX?
For me, I was busy with hospital visit actually. Actually, my mom is pretty sick at the moment, and
Aww.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah,
What's going on?
I'm not sure to be quite honest. She
Oh,
was feeling dizzy. It's been a few days already, and today the doctor visited to do the checkup basically, and something is going on with the organ that takes care of the balance basically. So she can't walk,
oh,
she can't move much at the moment. So the doctors
really?
aren't sure what's going on. So tomorrow is going to be a blood test, and we have to wait for the results after that. So till then, I actually am not
That,
sure what's going on. So it's been a bit of a rough time, and I really wanted to do the recording today because I needed a distraction basically.
Mm, 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 mm.
And on the personal level, for the rest, not that much actually, because I was too busy taking care of this basically. So nothing much is
Sure.
going on. But yeah, it's more like it's that season again as well. So everyone's getting sick or is getting a bit more ill or something like that. So one thing I can say is just take care of yourself, everyone, because it's rough. It's rough times at the moment. But to transition on a more happier notes, we had two MV releases actually. One from
Yeah.
Thailand and another from Korea. So let's start with Korea first. It is the new MV from IZone called Beware. So who wants to start out? I think that's one is for Marberry, so start out.
yeah. Let's start with the positive side. I love the music video.
Mhm.
It's fun, it's colorful, the outfits are amazing. I especially love the pink ones, the pink dresses. They are
Uh-huh.
cute. The screen time, the pink dresses, they are really cute. The screen time is distributed really well.
Mhm.
Hitomi got a lot of screen time. Nako started out. It was great.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
And then comes the song. Actually, I would say I like the song,
Uh-huh.
and the problem I have with it is the same I've had with the past few IZone Japanese releases. The mixing is absolutely horrible. It's just why? I just want to scream why to the what
Like why Japanese people? Why?
like, you know why? Like the Japanese who is ever deciding or writing the Japanese songs. Why are you doing this, man? Like I've seen fan edits of the songs that are better mixed, and they are like, and they don't have as much like material to work with as the people actually mixing it. So, just goddamn, why? Why? I want to love the song. Like, I can imagine what it would sound like with good mixing, and it hurts.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nette, any thoughts?
Well, I kind of got influenced by the title, so I thought it was gonna be like a Halloween song.
Oh,
So
right.
it was kind of a surprise.
Uh-huh.
But you know, I could listen to that again. It's not my favorite song of all time from IZone. It was okay, and yeah, I had more fun with the other song that came out this last week.
Yeah, I can imagine. For me personally, this song, it's kind of there, you know, it's not good, it's not bad. And if I were to compare it to Secret Story of the Swan, I'm gonna say it. I like Secret Story of the Swan way better than this one. This song feels so mediocre to me, and Secret Story of the Swan is like top marks song-wise for me. So it's a bit of a step down from Secret Story of the Swan for Ice One for me. So Derek, go away, go take it away.
Yeah. So crazy girl, like, do you remember you've given me some links to like, I guess B-sides or not their big singles, like IZone singles? I
Yeah.
told you I like them. Like a lot of the girl
Yeah.
crush stuff that was like they have some pretty good songs I wasn't aware of, because all of their singles so far I've not liked. Like I can't get into them. I can't enjoy them. But you sent me some links on 48 Talk, like in the comments, and I remember a couple of those songs. I was like, whoa, like this is good. Like that should be the main songs. Do you remember that
Yeah,
at all?
definitely.
So okay, so here's the deal. Let's break it down. First of all, the MV to me is rather boring, as far as like we've seen this before, you know, like with
Yeah.
every single K-pop group ever. As far as like the pastels and the bright colors, it's beautiful, no doubt about it. But it's easy to make girls that look like that have a beautiful MV because they are all perfect looking. I don't know if that's makeup, that's just them, it's dieting, whatever. They radiate. So I will give them that. The IZone girls are some of the most gorgeous women maybe God has ever created. So, and it's interesting to say that when we all know where they started. They didn't start there.
Nope.
Now they've got there. I didn't even recognize Sakuratan. It took
Same
me
here.
a long time. I was like, "Where is Sakuratan absent?" I'm like, "Oh wait, is that what? What? Like, huh? Like, honestly, I didn't even remotely recognize her, and I was like, "That's amazing." Cheon, of course, just
Yeah,
wow.
as always, you know, as always. So that's a given.
Oh my god, that girl. She is just, yeah. She is just. I don't know, if there was a battle for Troy today, she would be Helen. Like she
Yeah,
really
yeah.
would. Like, she's that pretty. Like she's unbelievable. So, you know, again, looks, they got that, but that's easy for them. That's easy for every K-pop idol. I mean, it's like that's day one of being an idol in Korea. You have to be beautiful on some level. I don't quite think they're there yet with like fat idols or like, you know, and I say that lovingly. I'm just saying like girls that aren't like that. Um, but that aside, I agree with you, Crazy Girl. The mixing, what was going on there? Like the vocals were way up at parts. Like there were parts where the vocals would go way up. There was no like mixing at all on the vocals on some
Yeah.
parts. It was dry vocals. Now don't
Like
get me
just slap
wrong.
them on there.
Don't get me wrong. Dry vocals can be cool if done right. If you have like you're normally like I'll give you a good example. Perfume is done straight like techno vocals. You can't even understand them, Vocaloids. And then lately they've been starting to get into like singing vocals, and then they mix it with their usual. It works really well because all three of those girls can actually sing really good for the most part. I can sing. Kashiyuka's a little shaky. Nochi can sing when she wants to, I think. But like it worked. The balance there is good, you know? You can do dry vocals for effect. You don't do it in the middle of the freaking chorus or the pre-chorus where you go into the dry and then you dump your vocals back into the mix. It's too jarring. It's like, why did somebody forget to hit the mix button there?
Well, I mean, it's not like this is the first time this has happened. Vampire, Buenos Aires, both had the exact same problem. It's not like it's a one-time thing, like whoops. So I don't know.
Is it a trend? Is it like a new K-pop trend thing that they're trying to make popular?
Well, but that's the thing. Like, these are only the Japanese releases that aren't like that are, as far as I know, overseen by AK. Then I lost them now. So
it took me a second to realize like they were singing in Japanese too. I don't know why. My brain automatically assumed they were gonna sing in Korean, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, I know what they're saying, and
Yeah,
I was like, wait, oh. But the thing is like, how do I put it? There's no real hook in this song. There's no real like catchy chorus for me. There's nothing that keeps me there. The whole cat thing doesn't work for me, like, or whatever they were doing there with the I don't know, the pre-chorus dance. I
the
just
monster, like something like that, like
sure,
beware,
yeah,
like I'm scary.
whatever. I get it, but it's a little on the nose. Like, it's like a doll. It's kind of like Blackpink's Ice Cream, like lick, like, come on.
Yeah,
So
true.
I'm just saying, it just sounded like a throwaway song from Girls' Generation 5 years ago. So I don't know. Like, there was no reason for me to hear it. I was bummed, but then again, I'm not an IZone fan, so like, it's just one of those things that kind of like, I'll listen to it, you know. I like the girls. I definitely like the girls. I'm fans of them, of course. Sakuratan, Cheon, my girls. But I'm just saying, like, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do with it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally get it. But also, like, with the mixing, like, it's so obvious the problem with the mixing is on the Japanese side, because like the album 12, like, it hasn't been officially released, but they've been playing the B-sides on like radio as well, and like Sakura's show and that. And like one of the songs, Yami Summer, like was actually produced in Korea, and like Sakura wrote the lyrics, and that song's very good, no problem with the mixing at all. So it's like something's going on in the Japanese side where like just the effort isn't being put in, I think.
There must be a disconnect somewhere.
Yeah,
there has to be.
Yeah.
I think any producer would have caught that and been like, wait a minute, where's the reverb? Where's the, like, I call, when you put the vocals in, it's called sitting in the mix. And like, if you don't set the vocals in the mix and you have them way up, you should have it up for a reason, like maybe a special weird part or something. You don't, but it just sounded like somebody forgot to hit the button or forgot to mix it, like, or something happened. So it's glaringly obvious too. Like, you crazy girl, you don't play music, do you?
But not really. Like, I play the piano and like I do a bit of music. Like, yeah.
But I mean, like, you're not recording and mixing songs, right? But you heard it. You can understand, like, what you heard that part.
Like, yeah, I hear what's wrong there. Like, it just doesn't sound right. Something's missing.
Yeah, so it was just a really odd thing. And by the way, anybody who's watching, there's an IZone fan, let us know in the comments. Are we missing something here? Was that intentional? Do you guys understand what we're saying? Again, I'm not a fan. Don't hate me for that. I never have been, though. I'm consistent, at least in that regard. But I did like some of the links that Crazy Girl has given me in the past of IZone, where they were girl crushing hard, and they brought it really hard, and I like those moments. It's kind of weird because, like, tonight, one of the idol groups that Mary Bad End played with, their very first song was like this EDM banger, and I'm like, oh shoot, I was like, this might actually be good. And it was good. It was decent. And then the next 4 songs they played were rock and roll epics. Like, they were like punk rock, and I was like, wait, what happened to where's the EDM? And I was like, go back. Like, Matt, ready? Let's look at that. I was pulling a Matt there. Like, it's just, honestly, like, I I didn't understand the logic of why would you jump genre like that. So it's the same thing I felt IZone. It's like I still think they're testing, like they got their formula down, but I think they're so comfortable in that formula that they're not testing like enough.
Mhm.
And then they're also, I think, just not taking any risks. There was no risks in there, and I'll get into why that's the case because I think I know the answer. And because I've had this experience recently. I'll get into it after we talk about LYRA because I both videos what I'm about to say applies, but I'll reserve that. I'm just gonna
Okay,
say right now the MV's there. It's
exactly.
there. IZone fans, I'm sure you enjoy it. I'm happy for you. I love Sakura. Cheon for life. That's it.
Yeah, just got one final question in general, to be quite honest, because Ice One has been around for a while right now, and it seems to me the Japanese releases aren't up to snuff if you compare to the Korean releases. Most of the Korean releases are pretty much solid songs, but from the Japan side, only the first song they've released Japanese-wise, called Tsukito Iwasatai, that's the only song I actually liked on Japanese side. For the rest, it was so mediocre, in my opinion. I'm not sure what's going on between both countries their management, but I don't know. There's such a huge difference in quality song wise. I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, I think I have an answer for that, but I'm gonna reserve it after we talk about LYRA because again, it'll apply there as well.
So since Derek mentioned it, Lara has also released their MV called Lyra. So Mette, why
LYRA.
don't you start out?
Yes.
Sure. So this is the collaboration group between IM, the company for BNK48, and Universal Music. So this is they were supposed to go to LA for this, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So they did like 30 days in a mansion where they did a bunch of training and tests, and then they helped make the song. Pun is a credited writer on the song. She wrote her own rap part.
Uh-huh.
And the concept of this is supposed to be a Thai pop. We're supposed to be at the beginning of the creation, and they had a one of the producers or the songwriter has written for K-pop before,
Oh, okay.
and the girls had a lot of say in what kind of concept they wanted, what kind of MV they wanted, and it's a girl crush song that looks and sounds a lot like K-pop, but it's still good to me at least. And yeah, it blew up kind of. At least in Thailand, it blew up. It has about 4 million views now. And Rolling Stones magazine in the US wrote about the song
Oh
and
wow.
posted it online.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
the US version of the page posted it on Twitter, and so they're getting attention. Yay!
Yeah, that's good to hear. Actually, yeah.
So I
So
have some
yeah,
problems with the MV though, but not like
Let's hear
huge
it.
let's hear
problems.
it. Let's hear it.
Let's
So
hear it.
I'll start with a song, and this comes from someone who speaks English as like a second language, and there are like a few lines I want to change in the song. Not like huge changes, not the Thai parts, because I can't do that. But they say in the song a lot. My name is Lyra. That's like the chorus part.
Yeah.
And I just wish they change it to our name is, because that's what they do for when introductions of the group.
Okay.
And Noe has a part where she says, "What you look like me" or something. It doesn't make sense grammatically to me. And if they just changed the look part in the beginning to like, it would have made more sense, because this entire song is about grabbing attention and making people notice them and follow them. It's a "Here I Am" song basically. And there are parts of I really like the dancing sections when they're all together and when they get through the portal or whatever it's supposed to be, and when you get to see the girls close up. But other than that, there are lots of moments where I go, well, this could have been different or better, like when they have the tinfoil background.
Oh right,
Right?
yeah.
You could have been somewhere else. You had this amazing set, especially at the end. Why didn't you do it there instead? But it's still a really cool MV, and I'm gonna listen to it again and watch it, of course.
Awesome. So for me personally, the MV, I have the similar type of opinion like Meta has, but song-wise, if I were to compare it to Ice Wants Beware, song-wise, this stuck a lot to me. This stuck to me a lot more if you compare it to Beware. I'm not sure why, perhaps it's more like a girl crush song, and that's my slight preference to it. So in general, I like Lyra a bit better. There's only one downside to this song, and that's they're keeping repeating Lyra, Lyra, Lyra all over it again. So that's the only down or the only con I have with this song. But in general, it's a good song, and I like it better than Beware from IZone. So that's my opinion pretty much. So Marberry, your thoughts?
For me, Lyra is, I don't know, it was disappointing for me, to be honest, because I was expecting quite a lot.
Mhm.
And like Mette said, it has this like we're here now, we're powerful, this kind of concept. And I don't think they pulled it off that well because
Uh-huh.
because they were saying like, sure, yeah, like go, like we are Lyra or whatever. But it's like, so like show us like, but it didn't have the proper power behind it. The chorus, like I wish it came in stronger. It was like, it wasn't like a proper anti drop. So you go, oh, what just happened? It's
Uh-huh.
just like a disappointing drop.
Yep.
And the lyrics overall were like they were really confident, but I didn't really get this like strong power vibe from the song. So it was kind of weird. The music video was good enough, I guess. Like I don't exactly remember it much, so I guess it wasn't bad. And but it must have not been that like anything revolutionary either.
Okay, awesome. Derek, take it away.
Yeah, like well, let's start with the fact that these are girls in Thailand singing this. That's amazing. I don't know about the status of women in Thailand, but I don't know, Matt, maybe if you can chime in. I don't know why we just consider you our resident Thai expert, but sorry. But like, it, are they oppressed there? Like, is it a man's country? What are your thoughts?
uh,
Uh-oh.
Nothing
the
too
easy
serious here.
the easy answer is just yes. Everyone. Well, oh, you're gonna get me in trouble now. Yes, it's not super great there. So I'm gonna go the safe route and say Thai pop in general is something everyone questions what is because it doesn't really exist.
Uh-huh.
And I think in this case, having women being the front power for it that we can see, or at least I can see, is something that's really powerful, especially in a country that's still very much rooted in traditions. And it's a youth revolution happening through music, and especially
Okay.
for young women getting the chance to chase their dreams. And that's kind of why BNK works so well as it does.
Good answer. Okay, so again, because I'm stupid and I don't keep up with current events or history as much as I like, I can't say much more than what Matt said about Tide. So I'll just say thanks, Matt. I agree with you. But the thing is, like, to me, I do. The reason I'm asking and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think it is just above everything I'm about to say, which is going to be horrible. I give the girls a lot of credit for doing what they do. I can't state it enough. These girls here in Japan and Korea and Thailand, Indonesia, America, like when you stand up and you're a woman and you like this world has been mostly a man dominated world. I think it's really a beautiful thing. As somebody who is a man, I can really admire and respect the courage. And I think that being said, these girls definitely brought it. They felt fierce. They felt to me like they wanted it. The problem is the music, the MV, and the lyrics did not follow. I could tell it's in their hearts. I that comes out clear as day. Those girls, we all know BNK are the honor roll students of the AKB family, and they can do no wrong except for this. They failed miserably. The reason why is this. Okay, like I have no problem with people copying other genres. If you're open about it and you're like, yo, I really want to make a K-pop song, make a K-pop song, and good luck, because if you make one as good as a K-pop group, then I'd say that's pretty awesome. But you're still not K-pop. I want to see Thai. I want to see something from Thailand. I want them to bring something new to the table because they're in a very unique position to do that. B&K did that with their original songs. You guys remember that?
Yep.
Like the original, it was incredible. Like they have a good way to spin their culture into something I've never heard before. Awesome. If you're gonna copy K-pop, put Thai in it too. Make something new. They didn't do that. Oh, go ahead, please.
So actually, they did in the music itself, because they're using traditional instrument called ping.
Ooh,
So a
ping,
lot of
okay.
the I don't remember the second instrument they used because it's a Thai name and it's difficult, but they're using at least 2 traditional Thai instruments to create the melody of the song. So
okay, so Met just put me in my place. Thank you. So that's amazing. I'm so happy you told me that. That makes me want to give it another listen. So okay, so I'm gonna do that, and I mean that. But even that, it didn't come through the first time. I didn't even know. See my point? So it's like, yeah, that's cool. Wasn't on the stage platform center raised like it should have been. You know what was though? A girl in the group trying to rap, an anti-drop that wasn't anti at all. Like just a beat that we've heard a million times before, and then some. It just literally felt like this was a throwaway knockoff of a song that could have been great in Korea 25 years ago when Girl Crush was invented or whenever it was. That being said, it's their first time doing it. So of course they got to start somewhere. So I'm okay with that. But I just felt like they went a little too hard and they tried a little too hard and it came off like them trying a little too hard. Now, had they put what you just said, their instruments front and center, I saw them playing it or something Thai visual, I could be like, whoa, that's cool. Like, and it was more prevalent. Maybe their drop would have been just those instruments playing with like a big bass beat. That would have been amazing. And hopefully they're hearing this and they'll do it because we know the BNK family, they watch us. I know they watch
Yep,
us.
they do. They do.
So, and again, all love to you guys. You guys have been freaking solid, like throughout everything. But again, you failed because it didn't come off as genuine. It should have. It didn't. The girls, okay, I could tell they were happy to do this. That's cool. No problem there. But it didn't come off like they were how do I put it? What they put themselves into it, it didn't translate musically along with what they did, if that makes sense. The music wasn't as original as what the girls put into it, lyric, with themselves. Go ahead. What are you gonna say, crazy girl? Sorry.
It sounded like an attempt, not like an actual like thing, I would say.
Oh, okay.
It sounded like an attempt.
Like the rap parts too, like I don't mind the grammar mistakes and whatever. Again, the fact I can't rap in Thai. So you know what? If I tried rapping in Thai, I'd probably make a few mistakes too. And it's okay. But you would think millions of dollars go into these groups. They don't have somebody there who speaks English who can't check that and be like, oh wait a minute. Do we really want to say this part? I mean, come on. Again, it's like that's what you said, Ben, is a glaringly obvious, easy fix. You could easily fix it. But unless that was intentional, because sometimes grammar mistakes are intentional in rap and stuff. I'm okay with that. But it just, again, it's even what they were saying. It was just like, it's just you and me tonight or whatever. It's just like, what are you saying there, girl? Like, you're an idol. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, no offense. I don't know. It was just weird. But then the other big problem, and this is the huge problem I have, and please tell me you guys noticed that because none of you said it. I was waiting for one of you to say it. Did the MNL 48 camera crew come over and film it? I never know they said that. You know how many shots were like?
Yeah, I know.
Because we don't want to get in trouble. That's why.
I don't care. I don't mind getting in trouble. I have nothing to lose. Like I saw people's upper palates in their mouth. I saw like nose hairs. I was just like, M&L. It's M&L. Yeah, that's exactly what it was for like 3 minutes. And then like the set, where were they? Like they had this beautiful backdrop, but it looked like they were in an abandoned building that had a bomb set to blow up in 3 minutes. Like, and I think it did blow up because at one point they had like special effects or something, and I was just like, what am I watching? Like, you're gonna go hard, you should have went on the streets of Bangkok, and you should have those girls walking on the street like yo, what's up? That would have translated. We're tough. We're in this male dominated environment in Bangkok, and like we're tough, man. You can't touch us. That would have worked. Not in this about to blow up mansion that blew up, I think. I don't know, because the camera was doing this too much, and I couldn't really tell where I was at. MNL48 camera people, please go back to ML48 and never film anything again. Because honestly, that style does not work. You don't need it. Now, in 2 minutes and about 3 seconds into the song, those girls pulled off the most badass dance I've seen a group in like AKB maybe do yet. I don't know what they were doing with their legs, but their legs looked like they were disassembling themselves off their bodies.
Yeah.
It was only a split moment, but I saw it, like, I was like, oh, I was like, that is amazing. Why didn't they show that for 2 minutes? Like, I could have just watched those girls dance that part. They crushed that. I'm like, these girls, they actually looked like a K-pop group in that moment, for that moment. And then, of course, then this happened, and rocks were blowing up. They were rapping in proper English, and they had Thai instruments I couldn't hear, and all this other stuff. But that they did have that one tiny glimmer of moment when I could catch a little bit of the dance. I if they put out a dance video for this, like
They
a dance
have.
practice video,
They
oh, I
have.
gotta see. Send me a link
So
because
I can send you the
that
first one.
Sorry.
I'll send you the first performance they did for it, because the first performance, if you can see the good version that doesn't have the IS audio that was delayed for mine, they sing this song live every time I've seen it so far, live on stage with microphones. No special effect, or they have the background music, of course, but they sing it live and they dance at the same time. And for the first performance or showcase, they did it with this amazing background of the LYRA constellation, I think. And they look amazing.
Wow. Sounds like they should have used that live as an MV, actually.
Yeah, like, that's the other thing too. I didn't think the girls looked especially pretty in this. No offense to them, because they're all pretty, but I just didn't think they looked pretty. I thought their makeup was a little too overdone. I don't know, maybe just as a guy, it didn't work for me looking at them. I thought like whoever did their makeup should be fired, because it just didn't work. It just didn't work for me. Their outfits too were a little kind of hokey. Like, I don't know. It was okay. They were all right. I'm sorry if it's like traditional Thai. Please don't crucify me, Thai people. I'm just saying, like, it didn't strike me as okay, and their makeup was just not really. Maybe it's because it was this the whole time, and I could see past their makeup and into their pores. So I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, it didn't work for me. But they did have that one moment. I'm telling you, that like those girls, they skyrocketed. They had a better song, a better MV. Oh, the potential here is unreal. But
they're coming with new music soon.
No, I can't. I'm dying to hear their follow up. I'll give them another chance for sure, because they got the heart. I could tell they got the heart, so that's good. But they just tried a little too hard. They had a bad MV. The song is it's a try, like Crazy Girl said, it's an attempt. But let's see the real thing next time. And although I will say this, live, this song was probably so much fun. Like, if you're at the show, oh my god, you probably have a best time watching. Because sometimes, like, really crappy songs, or like songs that you're like, ugh, like, you go see them live and it's like your favorite song the whole time. That happens to me all the time with idol shows. Like that. Like, I'm like, I don't like this song when I hear it, like on YouTube or something. I'll go watch the girls perform it, and they have so much heart, and the fans are into it so much. I'm like, oh, this is fun. Okay.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh wow.
Having fun time.
So yeah, those were our thoughts about the two MVs that were released, basically. In other short news, Derek, what's up?
Yeah, so I know I'm dominating this entire conversation. I apologize, but I had a lot to say tonight. Like, the reason why I think both LYRA and IZone songs are like this is, and I think this stems a lot from what I've seen so far and how Japanese people, like producers, make songs. Okay, because like I'm with Daisuke from Mary Bad End. Daisuke does AKB48, Nogizaka 46. I'm working right now with another guy who makes Nogizaka 46's music and AKB's music. He's actually making music for Miho, the girl I'm producing. So He's made me 2 songs and they're great. But in the process of working with both him and the other idol I'm working with another Japanese guy. He's a metal guitar guy, but they all are the same, I'm realizing. And here's what it is. They all write songs on a computer. Okay. Let me just stop you there and let me tell you that's one way to do it. But another way is when you have a guitar and you have a band and you're feeling parts out and you're hearing how it sounds and you could do tempo changes. Tempo is a big thing. Okay. So if you want to know why so many AKB songs in the past year we didn't like, it all comes down to tempo. When you have to change tempo on a computer, a lot of times, depending on your program, or at least the programs I've seen these guys do, it's really hard to change tempo, or like it doesn't, like they just can't comprehend to go from a 4/4 to like a 3/6 or a 3, or like change music time. It's like it blows their mind to do that. And then like it's like they do things called type A, type B. So basically type A is like your, I don't know, like your one verse, type B is your chorus or whatever, or maybe type A is your chorus, type B is like your second chorus, and then they'll build a song around just 2 parts. That's it. 2 parts, repeat for 4 minutes. And just variate a little. Every single producer I've worked with so far, that's what they do. It's like they all go to the same school in Japan and they teach them that. And I realize I'm coming in and I'm telling them, no, stop this. I want another part. I want every single measure to change. I want something different. Their brains fall out of their heads. Like I've literally made the Nogizaka 46 producer. I made him rewrite the whole song because it was so, I don't want to say it was boring. It was just like great hook, good melody. The same thing for like 4.5 minutes. And I'm like, no. I'm like, this is too good of a hook. Like Miho's Her Song has an undeniable, amazing hook. Everybody's gonna love it. But if I would have released it how he gave it to me, you guys would have been bored with it after a week. So it's like a concept that it hit me. This is why so many songs from Japan sound exactly the same, because they never go out of that comfort zone. Type A, type B, make a few little things in between. Done. Here you go. Wrote it on a computer. Give me my money. Thank you. Bye. There's no soul to it. Like a lot of the idol groups that I like I'll give you a good example. Barry is an idol group. Right now they have 2 members, Monica and Sayaka. And Monica speaks good English, great girl. They recently lost 2 members and they've had problems with members. But the producer, Kesuke, he's a guitar player. He's like a very quiet, sits in the corner. He's the nerd at the party you don't talk to unless you want to get in this big discussion about guitars. And even then, he might not talk to you because he's so shy. But that dude can frickin' play guitar. And like all of Barry's songs, they're weird. They're out there. They don't follow any real progressions you would hear. And I love it. It's so creative because he was like, nah, I'm not gonna do all that normal stuff. And you listen to it and you're like, oh my God, like this guy gets it. Why does he get it? Oh, because you play guitar. Because you sit there and you write on a guitar first. Then you take that to the MIDI keyboard and you write. These guys, they start out with the bass and the drum beat. They don't even have a melody. It's just like, let me do the drums. Okay, now we're gonna add the bass. Now we play guitar. Huh? Like as a guitar player, I wrote every one of our songs on a Yamaha acoustic guitar because it was the only thing I could afford at the time. And I thought, well, I'm writing metal, grind, death metal songs on acoustic folk guitar because I couldn't afford an amp. I couldn't afford a practice space to play in a big room. But my thinking was, if it sounds amazing on this piece of crap, it's going to sound incredible on a big amp. And guess what? It did. Versus these guys, like today, I was working on the second idol I'm producing. I was working on her song for 5.5 hours with this guy who's writing. He sent me the first incarnation of the song. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was like it wasn't. There was nothing to it. It was the same thing over and over again for 4.5 minutes, and I'm like, what is this? And I told him before he even gave this to me, I want this. I told him very specific, change up. They can't understand that. That's why Blackpink's Kill This Love is so incredible. If you hear that song, it changes and changes and changes. It keeps giving you parts that are different, and they switch parts, and like it's so clever.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
wrote this
exactly.
song today with this guy, and I had to like redo everything he did. And here's the kicker: I have to pay him when
Oh
I wrote the song,
wow.
basically.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the joy. Yeah, he just messaged me a little bit ago before this. He's like, I need more money because it's taking too long. It's like, wouldn't take too long if you had written me the song I asked you to write me. But now I can't even blame him. I
Mhm.
like him. He's a good guy. I'm not knocking him. He just doesn't know any better because he's coming from the school of thinking in Japan. Every single song is like type A, type B, repeat, 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 repeat. 4 minutes. Okay, all right, then we can stop. Okay, literally. That's why every AKB song's like that. You know?
Mhm.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
these
Another
guys are
yeah, another example you
yeah,
can give is KMT Dance from
yeah.
Jirina back then. When we were watching the showroom together, it sounded amazing for the 2 minutes we saw the song produced, but after the release, it feels like 2 minutes,
Mm.
copy paste, another 2 minutes, and you got a song for 4 minutes. If there was just
Yep.
one more type on it, then it would have been epic. But now it's like mediocre.
I mean, there's this group called Kiss Hug Extreme, and they've been around forever. And the guy who writes our music, Oshima-san, he's a upright bass player dude who loves progressive rock metal. Like John Petrucci and Dream Theater are his favorite band and guitar player respectively. So Kiss Hug's music is like 7-8 minutes long a song. It's prog idol. It just it's insane. It's insanity. And there's no other group that does that, because for every group like Kiss Hug, there's like 1,000 groups here in Tokyo that are ripoffs of every other like AKB song out there, because it's just like they all have these guys that like, hey, I want to start an idol group. I'm a producer, but I don't know how to play music, so I hired this guy. Here's $500. Can you write me a song? Sure, I'll have it done in 3 days. 3 days, really? Yeah,
Wow.
no problem. 3 days, he turns it on his computer. Here you go. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Puts it out. You put it out in public with you get your idols. And it's almost like you don't even care because you're so happy to have your idol out there. And the music's like secondary. And you can tell because it's just some guy writing it on a like his computer, and there's no soul, there's no hook, it's like one hook, maybe one little half hook even, and they think, oh, there we go, and they'll repeat it for sorry, for for
Easy,
like
yeah.
4 or 5 minutes. Sorry, I had a really aggravating day today about this, and then on top of that, to be asked for more money when I had to go and basically write it. Like, I'm just
Oh.
like, wow, welcome to Japan, you know.
Yeah, basically.
You
Oh
know what
my
I
god.
used to do? Yeah, I used to sit at my home. I used to have a stack of CDs. I would listen to them all. I would try to combine all kinds of different things, everything from 50 Cent to Bjork in one song, make it metal, go crazy with it. Then I took it to my drummer. My drummer was a genius. He would hear my guitar part, and in a little bit of time, he'd make a drum part. And then 40 practices later, we'd have a song because we would keep changing it and making it better and making it better and making it better. It took me a year to write the last album I wrote because we didn't just settle. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There are some dudes here in Japan, like Ogawa from Oyasumi Hologram.
Mhm.
That guy can write a monster song in 20 minutes.
Whoa.
He's just one of those guys that, but he's a guitar player. He sits on his guitar, he writes it, and then he puts it on the he makes it all MIDI and keyboard, and it's amazing. But you see my point? Like, that's a whole world of issue, and that's why LYRA and that's why the IZone songs sound the way they do, because they were written by some dude sitting in an office who wanted to get paid to write a song for these groups, or was paid, and didn't actually go out and experience the world, I think, and actually write from here. So with Lyra's case, you have these girls that are writing, they got their hearts in it, like, yeah, we want this, great. And you get to some guy probably in his 30s who doesn't know anything about girl power or about the feelings these girls are really feeling. And then he's like, he hears what they're saying and he tries to give them that, and it's an attempt because he has no clue. You see what I'm saying? That's the disconnect.
And like
Okay, I'm
what you
done.
were
You did it.
talking, yeah, and like what you, I'm gonna add a bit to that. Like what you were talking about, like experimenting and not just having like this set deal of A B A B A B. You know, like one of the most iconic K-pop songs of all time is "I Got a Boy" by Girls' Generation.
Uh-huh.
And like that,
Yep.
that
Yep.
song, it goes
Love,
everywhere. You're like, oh,
love
this
it.
song, and it's like, oh no, we're adding a new genre into this right now. Oh,
Yep.
you think we're over? Nah, 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 another
Nope.
genre. Oh,
Wow.
you think we're now we're combining the like two of the genres that we had before. And like apparently that song was actually written in like 15 minutes. So it's just
Amazing.
Wow.
experimental
Amazing.
with people. Yeah.
Well, so some songwriters have the gift. Really, there are some guys. Some of the best music in the world was written in a few minutes. The most
Well,
popular song I ever wrote was I wrote in about 12 minutes, and it was a reaction to my band playing with these other groups that made me feel very humbled because they were so much better, and I challenged myself. I'm like, I can write like them, and I did. I went home and I wrote the song that we were remembered for. Everybody knows
well,
our song. I tried to do it once.
yeah.
7, like
Well,
10,
to be
10, 12
honest,
minutes.
yeah. Well, when it isn't like I think like no like producer or songwriter like can write a song always in 15 20 minutes. It's when like
No,
you get that inspiration and like the click
right.
goes off. It's like, oh, I know like that it can happen.
But you take that idea and then you have to build around it. You got to build the arrangement. You got to build the structure. I've had so many ideas in my head where like, oh, this would sound cool. But taking that idea and putting it into a song with everything else, that's hard. But the gifted producers can do that. And so when you look at some of the best songs in Idol history, it was done by dudes that were musicians, not dudes that knew how to write songs on a freaking computer that went to school and thought, oh, I like writing more here than I do picking up my guitar or piano and just really playing from the heart because it's better here. Like Daisuke, oh, there goes Crazy Girl's done. She's done. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm done. I'm out of here. Okay. So, like, Daisuke just wrote Honami's graduation song, and he wrote it from here. And wait till you hear it, because he didn't just stop with the hook. There is a crazy hook. Um, like, I, I really, really, really can't believe how good this hook is. But if he just stopped there and wrote a song and just made it go over and over again, this guy Daisuke's been working on the song for like 3 weeks or something, and I keep watching him. I go to the studio and he's hearing the same. He just listens to the same part 40, 50 times. Not even kidding with that number, and he'll change one little thing and one little thing. I mean, it's beautiful. When you hear the song, there's so much depth and so many things going on in it, and he could have just stopped with the hook. I mean, it's a good hook. I mean, he could have just wrapped it around a normal Idol song, but he didn't. How cool is that? So it's like you if you look at all the good Idol songs in history, they're all like that. Koisuro Fortune Cookie, that could have been just the main song, but you know what also makes that song great? The guy at the beginning talking. That's
Yeah,
such a
exactly.
cool little thing there.
Uh-huh.
They could have just kept that out, but they didn't. And like little things like that. And even that song, as repetitive as it is, there's little moments in it that work. Heavy rotation. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I mean, that song even has these really great moments. And it's just like you can be repetitive, but you got to be smart with your repetition. You have to know when you have a part that deserves to be repeated, and you have to know when you have a part that needs more to help it be repeated. And only people that play music know how to do that. And
Wow.
it's just I'm starting to realize that here. I really am.
Wow. Kind of like an epiphany you suddenly get during the process,
Totally.
basically. Wow.
Totally. Yeah.
But that would be an interesting topic to discuss further in a future episode, actually, because lately the mainstream releases from Japan, they're not doing it, to be quite honest. I'm not sure how or why, but now I've got an idea what's actually happening from the get-go. So it's really good there actually, because now I know what the problem might be, and more importantly how it can be fixed in some way. Because yeah, mainstream is not doing it nowadays, to be quite honest, for me. So yeah, that's about it for this topic. In other news from the Sakamichi series, today was the first day of the final concert of Kayakizaka 46. Tomorrow is the
Oh
final day,
wow.
basically. So
Wow.
in a way, we've seen the beginning and we've seen the end of a Sakamichi series group. So any thoughts? Well, let's start with Marabari, since she brought it up to me in PM. Marabari, go for it.
I'm heartbroken. I'm totally heartbroken. I love Kayakizaka 46 with my entire heart, with my entire being. I love the concept. I love the girls. And while I know like the girls will continue on like into Sakurasaka, I'm so scared that they will take out like what truly made Kayakizaka, which is to, if we are honest, the angst, like them talking
Yeah.
about topics that most mainstream girl groups will not talk about. They will not mention, but even if they will, it will be more like really on the surface level. But Kayakizaka, when they go in and you can see them feeling the emotions, and it's just so powerful, and I'm just so scared that the rebrand is going to just take it away. And like I haven't had time to watch the entire last live yet. I've watched clips, and the last song they performed on the first day is Kuroi Hitsuji, which is so fitting. And like they always tend to change the choreo up when they perform it to like change the story, but usually the ending is that the center is left alone and is going like away. But this time they did it so that the entire group was who went away. And the song has the symbolism with a spider lily that like symbolizes death, loss, and so on. And usually it's just the center like gripping onto it, and the others are like throwing it around. But this time, like others were too like wanting it, taking a hold of it, dancing with it, and there was so much symbolism in it, and it was just so beautiful. And I love the performances, and I don't want them to go away. I don't want it to end, and I'm just totally utterly heartbroken in every sense of the word.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's so
Sure.
rough, even especially for you,
Well,
Mariberi, since you quite recently came into Kayaki 46. Actually, it was
Like I became a fan right around the time Kuroi Hitsuchi was released. So
exactly.
yeah,
Wow.
it was
yeah.
I fell in love very quickly.
Meta, any thoughts about Kayakizaka ending?
Well, I follow Chaos since Silent Majority,
Uh-huh.
and it's been such a painful ride, especially now towards the end, because it was so much fun watching their music videos and finally getting like someone who put words on, like you said, the hard stuff in society, and finding someone who really spoke to you, even though there were a bunch of stuff about Tetsuzaka and all that. It was still like a group that felt it felt like they were speaking directly to the listeners all the time. And there's been so much, and I don't want to see that passion disappear, even if they turn into Sakurasaka. They're passionate in what they're doing, they're passionate in their performances, and I love that about them, and I don't want to see it to go away, even if it changes.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
wait, I have a question.
Oh, Derek.
Wait, a quick question. Wait, so I'm actually kind of behind on I thought they were just done. Are they? You said they're
They're
rebranding
Rebranding.
They're
Yeah,
rebranding.
rebranding.
Like the new name will be
into.
Sakurasaka 46. The new color will be white, and the logo has pink highlights, which is the thing I'm the most iffy about. Like pink with Kayakizaka. What? Like I know like the official color is white, but you're mixing pink in there. But what? Like I know your name is Sakurasaka 46, and like pink kind of obvious, but pink for those girls. Yeah.
Wait. So are they gonna play the same songs?
No,
No
probably not.
idea. Though, like the members themselves aren't sure either. From what I gathered, they've mentioned that this might be the last time they get to perform the Kayaki songs. So we don't know. We don't
Don't
know.
know.
Like we've been told so damn little, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, so the thing is for me is like they really blew me away, you know, as they blew us all away.
Yep.
And like we've had such a roller coaster with them. You know, Fukuan,
Yeah.
like we've talked about it, one of the greatest idol songs ever written in history. Maybe in the top 3 of all time.
Yep.
Go ahead, sorry. Crazy girl, you want to say
Like
something?
with Fukyo on the last live, Sugayuka,
Yeah.
the leader
Yeah.
of the group, centered it. And honestly, I think Boku Ayada scream might have topped Techi's 2017 scream. It was just
What sorry, you broke up, Crazy girl. What did you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said. Boku Yada what?
like a Boku Ayada scream in the song. Like Yuka's scream might have actually topped the Techi's 2017 Kayaki Republic scream for me. And the Kayaki Republic 2017 performance of Fukyo is, in my opinion, like undoubtedly the best.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember
Yep.
watching that. That was unbelievable. But the thing is, it's like that's one of the greatest songs. You have one of the greatest idols, the dark idol, the
Yeah.
anti-idol,
The
Techi.
anti-idol.
And then, you know, Mayoshi Shiramanaka was so beautiful. You have all these great girls that carved out personalities. They had a really good supporting variety set of variety programs that worked for them. Kakinai
Yep.
and Kakinai and like it just had everything going for it. My best memory, though, and I've shared this before a couple years ago, was I was at the Tokyo Idol Festival, and Kayakizaka took the stage, and oh my god, like I was way in the back because it just you couldn't get up to front, and you know, thousands and thousands of people there, and I remember just a gigantic group of Japanese people, maybe not Japanese, I don't know, because this was everybody from all over the world was there. And I remember when Silent Majority came on, and or no, it was not Silent, it was the second song. It was
Fatalis is all,
Yeah.
isn't it?
yeah, Futari
Yeah. Feta saison.
dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It started with that. I remember this girl is that the song where the one of the girls is in the center around, or is that Silent Majority?
So, like everybody's reaching up, like yeah.
What is that? Which song is that? Is that
That's what that is on.
So yeah, so I remember they had a girl in the middle who was pretending to be Techi, and this was completely natural. I don't think any of these people really knew each other, and all these Japanese or all these guys, I'll just say, they all surrounded her and treated her like Techi, and this couple of guys were in formation with her, and they were while Kayakizaka was playing Futari Saison on the stage, they were emulating Fury Copy exactly, and they weren't even watching the stage because it was so far away. At this point, they were with this girl, and they had their hands up and they were doing that thing, and it was like one of the greatest things I've ever seen, because it was like, this is what idol is right there. You know, it's like community. It's what 99% of all Western journalists will never get and never understand about idol, because they take one look at it and think it's a bunch of pervs, but they didn't see what I saw there at Tokyo Idol Festival. This young girl became Techi on stage. She became Techi. She became her. And it was completely natural because a community of idol fans lifted her up to be that person. And that happens all the time in idol, all the time. This community. And that's why a lot of people stay here. And Kayakizaki embodied that rage, the anger, the happiness, the sadness, the great melodies, the hooks beyond hooks. You want to talk about good songwriting? Fukuan, Saison, Silent Majority.
And like with Kayakizaka now rebranding, it really has definitely made Kayakizaka into Techisaka 46. Like there is that's what it has. Like Kayakizaka 46 is the story of the downfall of Techi. Like how that one girl who started when she was 14, just gave her everything, her heart, her soul, for the group until it like honestly just became too like she gave away too much, I would say.
Wow.
Like with her, I always say like she was the brightest of like flames, and she burned big, she burned bright. The whole Japan show her burn, and she burned and burned and she burned out.
Interesting thing you say about that, Crazy Girl. I love what you just said. It's so perfect because compare what you just said to Maeda Atsuko. Same time
Same.
starting,
Yeah.
same, but can you imagine? And like even the AKB documentaries, her teammates talk about the pressure she had of being the zero.
Yeah.
Like
Center
I've
Zero.
been on a lot of stages in the idol world. I've been on a lot of stages because a lot of times we do Bupan, we do Checky. If I'm with the big groups, you're usually put on the stage, and I've got to see the zero position because every stage has it. Every stage has the count. You know, the zero, and then you have the one. And I always think about that documentary. You know, of what with Maeda and the flower no flowers before the rain. You know,
Yeah. With Kayakizaka
and
46's documentary, like Our Truth and Our Lies, like it hasn't been officially released yet, so like if you don't want spoilers, like skip a bit. But like from what I've read, like what's shown in that, there's a lot of scenes where like Dechi is just crying before going on stage because she's scared. She doesn't want to go. She's anxious, and it's honestly just heartbreaking to hear. Or like seeing like other members carrying her off after a stage because she's just physically too tired to like even get up, and she really gave too much.
yeah, like
Wow.
you look at look at Maeda's story too. Like if you watch the documentary where like she was having like an asthma attack and then she had to go to the hospital basically or whatever, and then she came back and she performed even though that could have cost her life. She did it. And like you think about that and you're just like, wow, like the courage, the power, the strength to do something that will be remembered for the rest of history. And in that moment you sacrifice yourself, you sacrifice your health, your mental state, but you have your friends there, you have your family, your community of idol fans supporting you, that if you fell off that stage they'd lift you up. Like that's amazing to me. And the problem with Tetchi, she had that, but like you said, she was the Jimi Hendrix of the idol world, you know, burned too brightly too fast. You know, thank God she didn't kill herself. I really thought she was going to.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she did it.
I'm glad she left the group, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like
To be honest.
for all
Me
that, I
too.
love her. I love her performance, but it just hurts to note like the reason she performs those honestly really depressing songs so well and so accurately is because she feels that, and it's honestly heartbreaking to think that she's like around the same age as me, and it's insane to think that. And like in a recent interview she's talked about like how people nowadays ask her like, now that you left the group, is it better for you? And she's like, no, it's not. Like I still feel like anxious and like the depression. Like she didn't say those words out, but it's like honestly clear that she has depression, that she has like those like ailments, and those things don't work like that. That you just like stop.
Yep.
Wow.
In Japan there is no real mental health system here, and you're shunned almost if you have that kind of issue, and you definitely don't talk about it, or if you do, you use it in a trendy way perhaps, although there have been recent advancements in development here in Japan that they are trying to make mental health a little bit more of an awareness issue. But here's the interesting thing, just a little side note. Recently in Shibuya, they have been playing Kayakizaki on the streets, like over the loudspeakers. There's loudspeakers all throughout Shibuya, and they'll make all these, crazy announcements, or they'll play music. But you start walking right in the heart, like you go across the famous intersection, and then you start walking in the real side areas to go up to Dogenzaka and all the idol venues. You can hear it every night now. They've been playing every single night over and over and over again, Kayakizaki and Kayakizaka. And I remember walking there a couple nights ago. It was pouring down rain. The typhoon was heading our way. Thankfully, the typhoon said, nope, never mind, turned around. So we're lucky.
Wow.
But it was still raining. And I remember listening to them, as I'm walking from a venue. I'm walking from Shibuya game, and I had to go around. I was walking down this venue, or no, not game. It was Garrett. It was Garrett because Mary Bad End played Garrett, and that's in this area I'm talking about. And I remember it's raining, and I'm looking around, and there's people singing, and they're dancing, and they're singing the songs, and I'm like, oh, it's not the time to do it, but it was because it's raining and crappy out, and you have Kea, this like very natsukashi, this very nostalgic feeling, almost like it just came out yesterday.
Wow.
And there's actually people singing and dancing, and it was the most beautiful moment. And I remember that, and I'm thinking like, yeah, those are my girls. That's idol. That's idol, baby. Like that's idol. Whether you
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
can deny it all
definitely.
you want.
and
Isn't it
honestly,
amazing?
if I could give out this title, I would give Kayakizaka the award of like the best performers. Like, sure, like compared to K-pop, even they don't have the best vocalists. They have some really strong vocals, but yeah, they don't have the perfect vocals. They don't have the perfect dance. But I would say like Kayakizaka are honestly my favorite girl group of all time, even like above IZone, even above
Nice.
any other girl group.
Wow.
Because like even though like I am a K-pop fan, I love that perfection that K-pop is. Kayakizaka isn't that perfection, and that's just exactly what makes them good because they still put their everything into a performance, and they are still so good. They are good dancers, honestly. Like some of their choreos, like especially Fukyo Aon, it's just like, oh my god, what are those girls doing on stage? Like they put like every last bit of energy they have into it, and something like the members themselves have mentioned, and that other idols as well have mentioned about Kayakizaka, I've heard, is like they don't push the hair out of their face when dancing. Like if the hair goes into the face, that's where it stays until it flies off on its own. Like everything is about the performance and not about themselves.
It's amazing.
And
That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and like
And
one of my
I mean,
current
look.
and my
yeah,
and
one
my
of
Go
current
ahead, please.
no, no, go. Yeah.
and, and my current favorite member of Kayakizaka is actually one of the new second generations, Masumoto Kira.
Uh-huh.
And she actually like just like today after the last live actually said that this was like finally the night she felt like she was truly a part of Kayakizaka, like when they all performed the Kuroi Hitsuji together, because they performed it all 27 members together, and just
Wow.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they did it. They did Idol right,
Yeah,
They did it the
exactly.
way you're supposed to. I think in a lot of ways they did something new and different, but they did it on a massively global level, which is unbelievable. And I just when we thought AKB's whole story was over and Nogizaka was not over, but just doing Nogizaka, here comes Kei out of nowhere and just blows us all away. And for this
and like
one, I mean, really one of the greatest
Yeah,
songs ever written.
exactly.
and that's the scariest thing, that they are going to make Kayaki like a bit more palatable to the general public, so to say.
Oh yeah.
Like
They're
like
they're
something
done.
easy to eat up. Like, and I don't want that.
Mhm.
Like please just
They're
don't
done.
like if you change the concept a bit, okay, but please give me something. Like I'm still holding on hope. Like I refuse to give up hope because I love those girls. I really do.
No, I
Wow.
mean there's a lot to love there, There's a lot to love, there's a lot to respect, but at the end of the day, that's again what we've talked about before, what I've said before, that's the transient nature of idols. Here today, gone today. You have to love and appreciate an idol for who they are and the time that they're there for you. Nowhere is this more prevalent than the Chica world, where idols, they don't even last a month in some cases, even a week. Like they're here today, gone literally before you could finish the sentence I'm about to say. Like it's just the turnover rate is massive, but that's built into the idol culture, the idol bunka. So it's like even on a major level, you're only as good as much money you're making them, and you're also like, how do I put it? These girls are very vulnerable to a lot of things that maybe they're not ready to be vulnerable to,
Yeah,
and
true.
also it's a lot of pressure,
Mhm.
and it's girls and guys, we all crack under pressure. Certain people cannot handle that. Now Kea Techi had the world on her shoulders, but the thing is, she wasn't alone. She had her teammates helping her to some degree, I believe. I think they did. and I certainly know the fans helped her, but I know like the problem with the major idols, and this is something I realized recently, they don't have that connection with the fans like the Chica idols do in a lot of cases. The Chica idols, they meet their fans. Their fans give them gifts. They stand cheek to cheek with them. It's okay. The major idols, they don't get that. You shake their hand for 5 seconds and a cop pushes you out
Yeah.
or you get
And
yelled
by
at,
the end, the Tetsuya wasn't even doing handshakes. Like
right?
for the
Right.
And
last few
so
years. Like ever since she got
you,
attacked, like
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
a guy tried to attack her at a handshake, like she never attended them again.
you lose the ability to be why you're an idol. Like that, the whole thing comes down to that connection with the fans. And if you lose that connection, it's just a job, and it's not a good job, and it's a job you don't get paid very well in a lot of cases, and it's a job that will ruin your 20s and basically take away your best years of childbirthing, according to Japan, not according to me, just saying according to Japan.
Mm.
And I'm just saying, like, it's a lot to give up if you don't even get the rewards out of it. Like today, Honami did handshakes, checky sessions all night, probably 40, 50 checky maybe. And like every fan gave her so much love and gifts beyond gifts. And she got to do so much fun stuff with them. And side note, the girls, Mary Beth Ann, dressed up like the girls from Majisuka Gakuen today.
Oh, nice.
They were dressed like Yankee.
Oh,
And they even did the opening song.
Oh,
Da,
wow.
na, 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 and
Nice.
it was so amazing and fun. So you lose that. It's idols here today, gone today. I'm just saying, like, girls like Techi are gonna fall right into that vortex, that difficult place of being in this type of profession when you don't have that support to really lift you up. You're gonna fall.
Yeah, but like talking one more thing, like talking about like the future of Gyakyo, like it's interesting to see like which of the second generation members are being pushed, and like one of them is the youngest member who is still 14. I'm pretty
Uh-oh.
sure Yamasaki Ten.
Mhm.
Like at the last live, only 2 of the second generation members sent the song, and Tenchan was one of them. And it's really quite interesting because like when Techi was still in the group and the single was announced, she wasn't even in the senbatsu. And like it was another member, Hono, who was like pushed like to the front line. But now it's like I think like at the Tokyo Dome concert or something like that, she really proved herself because like her performance really took like me away as well. And just I'm really looking forward to like what becomes of her, and I hope she doesn't become a second Tetchi because just like or maybe they're already like making sure by pushing 2 of the new members instead
Yeah,
of just one.
perhaps. Mhm. Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of things ending, we also got a graduation announcement from an NMB member. Mura Sasai or Saipi, she has announced her graduation.
Really?
And yep. And Saipi also gained world recognition during the Produce 48 days because of her stunning visuals, especially during the concept song Rumor, which she performed in.
Yeah.
Rumor was good. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Rumor was the song you told me was. Yeah, that was amazing. That was good. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm with it.
And staying with NMB48, also they have announced their 24th single lineup, and center for that lineup is Yoshida Akari, who also is going to graduate basically. So it's more like the farewell song for Yoshida Akari as well. So it's good to see
Wow.
her centering at least one song before going away, because that's not always for everyone basically. So I'm really glad. It's supposed to release on November 18th, and there's no preview as of yet, so I'm not sure what concept is going to be for this final song for Yoshida Akari. And on another note, if you are watching this podcast, you have noticed the new background. So I would like to thank Mary Mary for creating this background. What was the idea or the concept for it? Mind explain it a bit?
I asked you what you wanted for it since well it is your podcast. It has your name on it, so it should be something like that you wanted. And like you said, you wanted something more purplish or something like more something like that. So and like something a bit futuristic also.
Yeah.
I took it a bit, like looked around on like DeviantArt for some free to use like images and all that, and well, that's what came out of it.
Wow. So thank
Very
you so
cool.
much for creating this. Thank you so much. And since we're pretty much at the ending of this show now, any recommendations? Mette, you go first.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's Friday this week or Saturday. CGM is gonna shoot Melon Juice, the MV,
Ooh.
with fans.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to maybe seeing if there might be pictures. I don't think we're gonna get like a preview of the actual MV yet, but still, it means we're getting close. And I think actually, given how long it's taken now to get Melon Juice, we might get it around the same time or just before the third album. So that means we're gonna get a new Greening You online soon.
Ooh, nice.
So for all of us who wants to, well, not physically meet BNK and CGM members, there's gonna be a chance for us again to at least get to see them online and get personal messages. So keep a lookout for that. And Chirpline has a new book out, or a book
Ooh.
about her that's out.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
Marberry, anything we should watch or any recommendations?
This Derek, especially if you haven't seen it yet, Cheon's 16 Shots cover and her documentary on Studio Tomb, where she said like shows a process of learning dance, talks about what dance is to her. Next week we're also getting the cover of like official cover of like instruction that she auditioned on Produce 48 Group as well.
Ooh.
Like Studio Tomb is gonna post it. And honestly, the whole documentary and the whole performance is just amazing. I've been making gifs of that, like just non-stop for hours on end. And she's just a goddess. You all know that.
Yep.
Yeah. Send me the links. I want to watch. Very cool.
I'll post those links in the description as well of this episode. So final up is Derek. Take it away.
The DX, you got anything? Or you
No,
good?
not
Or?
at the moment. Not at the moment, sadly. So.
Yeah, so Mary Bad End member Honami will be graduating here real soon, the 24th or 25th. And I will actually putting up on Idol Underworld live streaming ticket. So if you want to watch, you can buy the ticket as a foreigner using Idol Underworld, and we will send you the streaming code, the streaming link at a later date. Probably right before the show, because that's how we do it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's cheap too. It's only like $15 or something. So it's going to be a great show too. There's a lot of groups that are playing that are good. Another group that's playing is Watashi Mugendai. They're actually going to be breaking up, so this will be one of the last times you'll be able to see them too, and they're amazing. So it's a good show. It's going to be a sad show. It's a lot of crying, a lot of tears, but it's going to be a well-placed graduation because Honami's leaving on her own terms, and we love her for it. Also, Mary Bad End member Yuina has her photo books coming out on the 19th, and me and Yuina work very, 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 very hard on that book, and it's beautiful. I just got the books in the mail the other day. They're gorgeous. I'd love to sell a few more, so if you guys want to see a crazy idol photo book, that's not your normal idol photo book, check it out, because I like to blend art with photos, and I like to do a lot of artistic shots, and Yuina was really game to allow me to do everything. And she also let me do Gravure. It's the first time I've done Gravure in Idol, and I've worked with her a long time, and she really trusts me. So I was able to get some shots out of her that maybe she might not let somebody else do. So I was real happy about that because it was done for artistic reasons, and it just came out well. Also, Okinawa Electric Girl Saya-chan from Okinawa, her photo book I also did, and it's coming out. That was more me commissioning somebody to do it for me with some vague instructions. So it's basically more like her experience in Okinawa, because that's where she's from, and that's called Mind's Eye. That'll be out on the 29th. But you can pre-order all of this at Idol Underworld right now. You can put your orders in right now. There's still Gravure Checky for Yuina left if you're into that sort of thing. There's regular Checky. There's posters, pins, all that. So please check that out. And the other thing I would say is, we do a lot here to talk about the things we love and dislike, but at the end of the day, we're just talking about our opinions. So your guys' comments lately have been amazing to that effect. You guys give us your opinions too. Let's keep that going because I really enjoy reading them. We all read them. We all love
Yep.
them. Matt and Crazy Girl, like, this is their first time really kind of, I think, doing podcasts, if I'm not mistaken. And I gotta say, you two crush it every time. You're good hosts. I wish we would have had you for years. Um, DX, again, thank you for doing this. But most of all, I want you guys, all you fans, to give us your feedback on everything we're talking about, but present us with some information, some things we don't know too. You can be creative too. If you guys have something creative, share it as well. We're consumers here, and we like to consume good item stuff. And I hope if you guys have any topics, you let us know what you guys want us to talk about. We kept it very AKB and AKB related, which this is not the theme of this podcast. DX wants this to be whatever, but if you have other stuff you want us to talk about, this as long as it's idol related, I'll talk about anything. And so will everyone here. Keep that going. Keep that dialogue going. It's important. And also, last thing, uh, be nice to each other because, as you heard DX say, family can be snatched from you in a moment, and you should really take the time to kind of spread some goodness too. As much as I don't like the new MVs I saw from IZone and Bangkok 48, like I still love all those people. I still love I even love the camera guys. I know it's not your fault. You were just trained bad. I was just kidding. Like, go work. Go, just don't do idol MVs anymore. But you can film McDonald's commercials. That's okay. But I'm just saying, like, just understand, like, we're also joking here, but just understand that, like, life is precious. Life's not something to be ignored, and not to get all serious or anything, but, like, we all have people that we love, and look at Kaya, look at what happened with Kayakizaka and with Techi, and when you get people that don't have that love coming in, maybe it's our job to give that to them. So do that. Go be nice to somebody today. Let the karma wheel spin for you. That's all.
And with that,
I
yeah,
got real heavy there.
yeah, that's so heavy. Wow.
Sorry.
That's okay. And with that, this is the end of this week's episode of Downtime with DX. I would say later. Bye, everyone.